Have you heard of the book The Man's Search for Meaning?
No.
It's from a Holocaust survivor named Viktor Frankl. He lived in the camps, but he found a way to be happy. Because happiness, is obviously, it sounds cliche, but happiness is within. It's a mental choice. It's making the most of what you have, all starting with gratitude. All the new agey stuff you guys hear, but if a guy like Viktor Frankl can find happiness in a camp during the World War II era, you can find happiness with all the luxuries.
Exactly. Like all you see is complaining, and I'm just like, you have a roof over your head, okay? There are people that don't have a roof over their head.
We have internet.
We have internet. Can you imagine if this was back in the old times? Like you had to wait for letters, like.
Yeah, there's like only radio or shit, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I have a belief that people should go to a third world country at least once in their life.
Yeah, I think so too.
Have you ever been to one?
No, but I've been to Mexico.
Okay.
But my family, it's not so much for me just because I understand that my heritage and all that stuff, but for me it made me humble of what I have, because my family there, we live in a very, very small village. At first it wasn't even on the Google Maps.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes. And but it's small, very small village, and when we even go to town, it's like a little small plaza. Like that's how tiny it is. And I remember like we always have to we have these water thingies outside, the bathrooms outside, and all that stuff. We only a couple of years ago, I think, very, very recently, they added a bathroom inside the house that flushes on its own. Yeah. So, but we essentially live in the jungle, essentially. Yeah. And but even then, they are so much more happier than we are. It just really they're very fine with the little things.
Dude, that is exactly what I noticed when I went to Jamaica, when I went back to the Philippines. They had so much less than we did, but they were happier. And honestly, when I was there, I felt happier. I felt more relaxed.
I felt happy too. I was like, oh my god.
Because I don't know, there wasn't. Maybe it's because we're away from our home and all the daily stresses, but it's you feel the energy of some less but more in a sense.
Yeah, I remember from my memories, it was so cool too because we had a little convenience store right next to us and a little convenience store right in front of us where we lived. So it was so convenient. Even it was so small and rustic, and they don't really have that cement on the ground and stuff like that. But it was so nice, and we lived by a river. The donkeys would go crazy at night. We would get mad, but it was still happy. It was still great.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think people who are complaining about champagne problems or first world problems, need to experience that of having not much, because in the States we complain about the 1%, but to the rest of the world we are the 1%.
Yeah.